Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 2. Last time we did not fare too well. We went to Fienel and things did not go very well for us or for Claude's father. This time we're going to head to Armlock because that's what Mayor Narl said, and we need to find new weapons because apparently that's why we're unable to beat the 10 Wise Men. Other than the one that we beat on Disc 1. Yeah, they never really mentioned why we were able to beat him the third time, even though we couldn't the first two times, and then now we can't beat any of them. So, I don't know. Yeah, shouldn't you guide us to where we need to go? Well, not really, because there's one thing different. If you just move around a very tiny bit, Mayor Narl is focused up there. I don't think there's anything else we need to do at the moment, so we might as well just go talk to him. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the game, the upcoming area that we're about to go to. It's one of the few areas that I had some amount of memory of after not having played the game for 10 years. Or however long it was, probably about 10 years or more. Probably closer to 15, actually. To seal a certain location. Only certain people know the PIN code, and you unlocked it. What they don't mention here is how long this area has been locked up for. And we will be going to the library in North City, and I did figure out why the secret information quest that I was trying to do before wasn't working. You literally have to go in and at least do a couple of the pieces of information in the North City library. I just went and I did them all, and now it works, so that's good. Anyway, we will do all of that quest after we finish up with this next area, and before going on too far with the game. There's a good question. You will see. Okay, then. I didn't have, like, a good memory of what exactly was happening at this point in the game, but what I remembered was the music, and I remember finding it one of the most beautiful areas in the entire game. So anyway, let's head in here and see what all the secrecy's about. And all the guards, and all the security, and... yeah. It's been a while since we've heard this theme. Always one of my favorite songs in the entire game. That's a good question. The ruins of the Heraldric Weapons Laboratory. Well, why is it in ruins? You came here so we could get weapons, right? How are we supposed to get them if it's in ruins? Come back as if you were just taking a little walk. Kind of a strange thing to ask. Were you going to tell me something? I don't know, he's a politician. Blame it on that. Very strange happening. Strange choice of words. Now, at this point, I will come back here on Rena's path and just show off any of the subsequent scenes, potentially at the beginning of the next episode, depending on how long this one takes. But there are some variant scenes here, and I'm not exactly sure where they are. So I will go out of my way to make sure that we get all the different scenes from the different perspectives in this area. Mainly just because I love this area so much, but I think it's important. Do you now? It can't be. yeah, let's go follow Gnarl, even though he told us to go take a walk. There's actually very few areas we can go, and right now the answer is none. Kind of weird. I remembered this area being bigger than it is, but unfortunately it's rather small. Doesn't mean it's not interesting, though. Go over here first. Now, there's a bunch of pathways, but this is the only treasure that's located here. A mind ring just gives you some MP back as you stand in battle. It's not particularly useful. And the area is mostly a dead end. So yeah, let's go over here. I think there's a scene in a separate room, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's... Is it over here? No. It would be this room then, since there's only like 2 rooms. Oh, maybe that scene happens later. Looks like a kind of like a classroom. We'll head in that other direction afterward. I can never remember which direction you're supposed to go to get to where the plot goes and where the optional scenes are. And I'm not even sure if the scene is optional, just there's a scene in a room. All the records, huh? Important room stores data containing all records from when the laboratory was built until its destruction. And apparently it works pretty well now still, even though it's destroyed. No need to view the records from the beginning. All I want you to view only the last part. Okay. That would make sense. Some sort of hint to... There should be. You brought us here to get better weapons. Why are you saying now it should give us a hint? Really? Okay, then. Then how did you know they were there? Yeah, they're not particularly clear at this point, you know, how people know about things. Must evacuate, huh? You must escape to the shelter. And the director's name is Rena. Oh, so what exactly were you guys making here? Experimental space-time shift, shield, and energy field. You don't really need to understand all this stuff. It's all sci-fi mumbo-jumbo, but anyway. They're going to phase shift the explosion to a different space-time continuum. Okay, then. Feel like I'm watching a very lazy episode of Star Trek. Or an average one, depending on which series we're talking about, but... I do like Rena's theme. Though, why is it playing here? Speaking of why is it playing here... Rena was here before. Is it the same Rena? Your daughter. Oh, blue hair, similar name. Makes sense. Oh, I would guess that would be little Rena. Not built to hold living matter. Must take a chance to potentially save Rena. No adults can fit. I guess it's some kind of a test model of something. I wish I could go with you. Here's a birthday present from Mummy. The pendant. Now, I've criticized this game multiple times for its lack of music and its lack of trying to fit the tone, specifically with the cutscenes. But here we see the shaking, we don't hear the shaking. We're focused on the music. And I like that. I think it works really well in this case. There's a code that I'm not going to remember or try to pronounce, whatever. But I'm guessing that's how Rena ended up on Expel. It must have been some kind of space pod launching Superman story or teleporter or something. Yes, of course. Poor Rena. She just saw her mother for the first time that her memory can recall. And it's the moment that she dies. That's harsh. Interesting. Yeah, when did this incident happen? It has to be, what, 15 years ago, considering your age. What? 700? What? How? Energy of the explosion was absorbed by a space-time shift shield. The box Rena was in is thought to have been a device that permitted a space-time jump of just that size. Yeah, you can see why the Nedians were such an advanced race, considering the technology they had before they were even human beings. So at the same instant everything blew up, she teleported to Expel, presumably. Wow. Well, I don't think you're gonna see her. That's just depressing. Let's look into this. Though, if everything that happened at that point was being recorded, why would Rima just randomly spout out the code? Or whoever was with her at the time said it. I can't remember which one did, but yeah, that's... I think many people could catch her, but you're the only one who makes the logical choice in the story. Okay. She's not in here. Yeah, I can't remember if this ever does anything. I don't think it does. Is it now that the scene happens? It is not now. It might be only on Rena's path that one happens. Anyway, like I said, we'll fill in all the blanks of what Rena does during this whole sequence in the next episode there. Looks like there should be time to finish things up. Can't do anything here. Yeah, you just have to run down here, look around for Rena. You could look in every single room if you really wanted to, but there's no reason to do that. We just need to head down out of the building and into the forest that has the same music normally as the Shingo Forest. Don't worry about it. Not at all. It's probably why you enjoyed the Shingo Forest so much, because they seem to be very much, similar in terms of appearance, and I would guess atmosphere as well, considering the music. It's a big tree. That's a long time ago. Well, you're from a time where your mother was. You're just far removed from her. It was a weird translation there. I couldn't see how she wouldn't. She tried to save you with her last effort. Oh, I see. So, do you think she liked her research more, or you more? Okay. We haven't heard much about your mother. Then she immediately returned to her path as a scientist. She was an authority on heraldry science, which is rather odd. The term heraldry seems to be skipped around from planet to planet, even at different times, different levels of technology. They all seem to have the same term for it. Okay. She told me this once. Interesting. Seems to be a trend in this game. I see. Everybody's here for you. This is Rena's theme, the non-music box variant. It's a very powerful song. Now, in film, specifically older film, when you transition away from the scene and then come back to it the next day, it often indicates sex. Now, they were embracing and now they're just kind of sitting there. So you could interpret it as they just had sex. I don't think that's what they were going for, but I also can't find any other reason why they would have transitioned the scene up other than to look at the cool scenery. So I'm not exactly sure what they were going for there, but that's one way you could interpret it if you so desire. Yeah, no doubt. One just lost their dad, one realized their mom died 700 million years ago. That's horrible for both. I kinda doubt you are. Everyone is waiting. Let's go. That's right. Doesn't seem to hold as much of a grudge against his father now that he's passed. And there was a scene earlier in the game where I think it was a kid that he pickpocketed was involved in a private action that said something about loving his father, even though his father had passed. And Claude had mentioned that, do I have to wait until he's dead to love him? And, well, sad to say, that seems to be the truth. Anyway, that's pretty much the best spot I can leave it off without running the episode way too long. So next time we'll finish up this cutscene, and then at the end we'll tag on whatever scenes were different on Rena's path. And if I have time, I'll have put a 1-minute private action that kind of expands upon what's going on here as well. So that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.